What's up, everyone? Today we're going to take a look at one of the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 figures, Vance Astro from Hasbro. Alright, so here's our figure, and I gotta say, if you were on the fence about buying this guy, you probably should hold off, unless you're a huge fan or if you just need that Build-A-Figure piece. And the reasons I say that are because he is probably one of the most boring figures I have bought in a while, and the paint applications, at least on my figure, are pretty atrocious. So let's kind of dive in and take a look. So this is one of the Guardians of the Galaxy members, but not the Guardians that we know from the movies. He is one of the original Guardians from not the cartoon, from the comic books, and he is from the future. His past is kind of convoluted. He wears a suit that makes him strong. He has Captain America's shield, although he doesn't always keep it, and so that's why he comes with Cap's shield. He reclaims the shield in the future, but he does relinquish it at one point, I believe. So I think this is the same kind of shield that comes with pretty much any Cap figure. I actually do not have any current Captain America figures because I pretty much don't care for Captain America, at least enough to buy his figures. So it's a shield. He can hold it in his hand with a peg, or it clips on his wrist. That's about it. I'm not going to talk anymore about that. If you've got a Marvel Legends cap, you know what this is. This thing is pretty decent. Paint's all right. White looks kind of splotchy though. It's kind of silver, but it's supposed to be white. Now the figure itself is he's okay. I got him cheap, so that's the reason I bought him. I wasn't planning on buying him. I wasn't planning on building Titus, but I managed to get all the figures that I needed to finish him for maybe 40% off, so I grabbed him, and so I have him to review. The figure itself is just a standard kind of body. There's nothing anything special to him. He has a head that swivels, goes up and down, arms go up, they go out, all around. You can see I've got some paint problems already seen right there. We've got a bicep swivel, we got double jointed elbows, we have a wrist hinge and a swivel. The chest has a crunch with just goes down one click, goes back about the same, and then it has a ratcheted waist twist, which I don't understand really, because then you're locked into these certain poses. Legs go out about yay far, pretty high kick though, and then he goes back a decent clip. There is a thigh cut. There are double jointed knees. They don't go back too far though. He does have a shin swivel boot cut. He has a ankle hinge and a rocker. So nothing crazy, pretty standard Marvel Legends articulation. Sculpt-wise, there is nothing special to speak about. This is a standard body. I don't know specifically which one it is. It's obviously not new for him. That would be insane. The head is, I believe, new. I don't see it being used on anybody else, but it is about as basic of a head as it can be, and that's about it. As far as paint goes, that's my big problem. And you can see right on the chest here, look at all that. I can actually feel where the paint has like bubbled up on his chest. It's pretty bad. Everything looks really splotchy. The line work is all really fuzzy. I do like the colors, but that just comes down to his suit. It's the white and the blue. But I believe that, there are just some bad choices here for how the paint was applied. It looks uneven in places. It's supposed to be metallic, but it looks very marbly in certain places, especially on the boot. So that's a big problem for me. And overall, it just doesn't look very good. It looks it doesn't look clean. It doesn't look like what I would expect to get from Hasbro. I know they're not, a high-end toy manufacturer in that regard, but they have been painting toys long enough to know that this is pretty much unacceptable. I don't think this figure in particular should have passed QC, but obviously he did. The star on his chest is also kind of janky. There are some nicks in the colors, and the line work is just not good. The face is actually halfway decent. Obviously there's a little bit of shading in there, and then you get the white and the black around the eyes, so that's okay. But he is, for all intents and purposes, a pretty garbage figure. I don't like him. I don't think he's a good choice, for one. This is a boring figure to make, and I'm assuming they did that to kind of even out the cost of the wave. That's just my guess, because, we got a figure like Angela that has a lot of new tooling, a figure like Darkhawk that has a lot of new tooling. things like that. So this might have been kind of there. We need to get another figure out in the wave, and it needs to be a cheap one. Let's give him an accessory that already exists, and let's make him just a humanoid male body with nothing special going on, and that's what we got here. So obviously I don't like this character, this figure. I don't even like the character. I think he's a pretty boring Marvel character. There's nothing too special about him. I've never been fond of him, and that doesn't really play into the figure here. The figure is just not that great. I don't care for him. He is probably the weakest in this wave for sure. And yeah, that's about it. He's passable unless you really need that Build-A-Figure piece. And even then, if you don't really have any attachment to this character, you might just want to skip him and get the piece individually online. So that's going to do it for this one, everyone. As always, stay tuned for more reviews. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and share. And until next time.